Hello, everybody. If you're watching this live on Twitch, then you already know what this video is about. For the people watching this on YouTube, I will be reviewing YouTube chefs today. So I'll be reviewing two different chefs today. They're both very interesting. Both I am actually subscribed to because I find them very interesting, very talented chefs. So I think I'm just gonna review them. So my mind's all over the place right now. But anyway, so the chefs I will be reviewing today, chefs, will be Chef Tower. My brother's name Tyler. Chef Tyler and Louis Gantus. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but oh well. So yeah, basically both of these YouTube chefs, they actually know this guy makes full-on videos, but majority of the time they typically just make a bunch of shorts of just a bunch of extravagant stuff. Like Chef Tyler, he's lactose intolerant, so he likes making cheese-related things. Typical. And I believe, yeah, Chef Louis, I'm just gonna say Chef Louis. I don't think I can pronounce his name correctly. But yeah, Chef Louis is basically doing making baked goods every day to prove that baking ain't shit, he's a god, and his ego is still thriving. So he's not typically baking every day, but some things he makes more savory food or cow shit, but I'm sure it tasted good. I can't eat that because it's meat, but I'm sure it tastes good. So we'll be starting with Chef Louis, and we'll be going over to his short. So let's watch his most recent one.
Today I'm going to be trying the most expensive restaurants around LA. My bank account is going to be so sad.
But first stop the Ivy, where we're going to have caviar.
I hate when YouTube gets like that, when it gets little lines on it. I hate that. I have no clue how to get around that. Even if I'm watching like videos that were turned shorts that were turned into longer videos, like when you click on the little link and it goes to a longer video, I still get those green lines. And it's only on my laptops as well. I have no clue why. Alright, so
an A5 Wagyu.
That's really loud.
For breakfast. After seeing the prices, I was a bit stressed, but then they brought out free bread, which made me feel a whole lot better. Wasn't as good as Cheesecake Factory bread, but not bad. I've never had caviar before, and they brought it with red onion, egg white, creme fraiche.
Anyway.
Today, I'm making s'mores from...
Let's make a 3-course meal
inside of a watermelon. Oh yeah, you heard me right. See, I've been watching everyone put all these different fruits inside of a watermelon and filling it up with gelatin, and it got me thinking, what if instead of fruits, I put an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert? For the appetizer, of course I'm doing...
Wait, isn't making savory foods like a 1950s, 1960s type of thing? I believe it was like Thanksgiving dinner Jello. Yeah. Let's see. Can't immediately see where it is from, but yeah, this is the type of thing they used to make back then. Chicken aspic vegetable salad. So yeah, they typically put savory foods inside a Jello and call it a salad. And yeah, I don't know what time frame that is from. I know it's not any time recently, but I'm not entirely sure where it's from exactly. Origin. Jello's had the rise and fall of an American icon. Gelatin dishes were a delicacy in New York society. It was a status symbol. Oh, it was a status symbol. I thought it was used to survive during, like, starvation. But no, it's seen as being rich. Okay. But it looks like it was from the 60s, 70s. Okay. Oh, same goes for exotic ingredients. Oh, so they saw it as more exotic. Okay, that's why.
Doing shrimp cocktail because everyone loves shrimp cocktail. Unless you're a little baby with a shellfish allergy. For the entree...
So, none of you guys know this, but unless you guys like follow my Instagram, but yesterday I went out snow tubing with my boyfriend and his friend, and he has a shellfish allergy. And so I'm currently working on planning out like a signature dish, like signature original dish. Thing is, the idea I have in mind, I can't eat. So I was telling him about the idea, and he reminded me he can't have shellfish at all either. So for you guys who don't know, I can't have meat or seafood. Like, I can't have straight animals. I can have like eggs, milk, honey, that kind of stuff. But I can't have like beef, chicken, fish, that kind of stuff. So just it's just him bringing up being a pussy of a shellfish allergy. That just made me laugh.
Trey, we're doing
I want to send it to him, but I only talk to him on my boyfriend's phone.
chicken with peas and corn. You know, I don't see enough people enjoying peas and corn. Some people didn't eat their vegetables growing up and it shows. You can really tell a lot about a person by the amount of ranch they put on their vegetables. For the dessert, I feel it's only fitting we top it off with some Jell-O.
Okay, I gotta clarify that. I don't hate ranch, just in like 5th grade, I was taught about how unhealthy dressings were, and ever since then, I avoid dressings. Typically, when I make myself a salad and I want some extra, like, flavor or something to it, typically people would add dressing, but I just add lemon juice. That's typically what I do when making a salad. I love ranch. Don't get me wrong. I love the flavor of ranch. I've not had it in years. Just because I was taught how unhealthy dressings were in school.
Were you a snack packs or a Jell-O pudding kid? There's only one right answer.
Snack pack. Oh, snack packs. Definitely snack packs.
And it's Jell-O. Either way, this thing looks criminal and I couldn't bring myself to eat it. Let's make a 3-course meal inside of a water. Trying the most hated foods in the world to see if they're really as bad as they seem. First up, we got black licorice and candy corn. I've never had black licorice before, but it kind of tasted like expired medicine and dirt. Despite my failed attempts at making candy corn look like corn, it really wasn't that bad. Next up, we got Spam. I'm making it look exactly like the picture because if that's how they're gonna market it, that's how I'm gonna try it. Spam is kind of like hot dogs. If you say you hate it, it's because you have a weak stomach. Yeah, sure, they're both a mix of a bunch of random discarded meats, but aren't we all? They for sure shouldn't sell it as a burger, but put it on top of some white rice or in an omelet and you got yourself a meal. I would 100% eat it again. Lastly, liver. Liver is a delicacy where I come from, so I can't disrespect it too much, but the taste and texture can be pretty off-putting. Unlike most things in life, it doesn't taste like chicken. It's not for me. Trying the most hated foods in my dog is a true.
I absolutely loved candy corn growing up, but now I just don't like it. I have a feeling like they changed something about it over the years that made the flavor change and like just made it slightly more gross. Like, I'll eat it, but I won't devour handfuls of it. Like, back when I was younger, I used to fucking down licorice like it was just water. Amazing. But now I can hardly have a few bites of it. Probably because I'm older now, so my sugar tolerance is much lower, but oh well.
Trooper for eating the same processed garbage every day for every meal. So today I'm making him some gourmet dog food to treat him for being such a handsome good boy. Let's talk for a second about why small dogs are 10 times better than big dogs. For starters, 9 times out of 10 they are way cuter. I mean no disrespect to your big dog, but I don't
As someone who grew up with both small dogs and big dogs, I can see why he said small dogs are cuter, but fuck you.
enjoy having a drooling sofa as a pet. Also, don't you
Okay, yeah, my childhood friend's Rottweiler was basically drooling sofa. And my husky was basically a drooling sofa. And sometimes my Doberman was basically a drooling sofa. But my Pitbull, no, my Pitbull was also sometimes a drooling sofa. But they're adorable, okay? Dobermans are screamers. They will whine if you don't look at them for more than a second.
You just want a cute little puppy that can lay on your chest and vibe with you? Either way, they deserve to have some nice Michelin star kibble every once in a while. And if you're one of those people that has spiders or snakes as a pet, we get it, you're edgy. It doesn't have to be your
Oh yeah. I once had a dream where I adopted a bunch of pets. I adopted a puppy, a cat, a rabbit, a squirrel, a mouse, like a rat, and 2 snakes. One was like a small little green grass snake, and another was like a big black and gold snake. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna be a good snake snake owner. Cause growing up, I oh yeah, I love snakes. It'd be amazing. Sounds like fun, but I don't know how to hold a snake. In my dream, I was just so scared. I was basically crushing them. This was in my dream. It was a dream. I was basically crushing them, and eventually, basically instantly, the small green snake hated me, cause obviously. But the big black snake was really calm with me, really patient with me for the first little bit, and then of course he ended up getting really mad at me, and and so I ended up also having to crush him as well, just to make sure he doesn't bite me or eat my other pets. So I eventually decided to return them to the guitar store that also doubles as a grocery store and pet shop. And the thing is, I believe it was the small green snake. I had a small green snake in a Ziploc bag. Just small Ziploc bag. It was basically crushed. And was no air inside of it. I know, this sounds horrible, but I need to remind you, it was a dream. And so then I know for a fact I put the big black snake in the bottom of my bag. That way I knew it wouldn't try to crawl up and find a way out to bite me. So I went to go return the snakes, and I carefully took the green snake out of the bag, and, while hiding around the corner, and I gave it back to the storekeeper, and he's like, okay, so where's the other snake as well? And I'm like, oh yeah, just let me go grab it. I go back to my bag. I'm reaching all around, and that snake is nowhere to be found. I was terrified. But thankfully, I took everything out of my bag before putting the snakes in it, so I just left my bag there. I left it there while the shopkeeper was handling another customer in order to try and sneak out. I didn't do very well. He saw me, was like, hey, where's the other snake? I was like, I think I'm going to give it another shot trying to take care of it. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll maybe try and find someone to show me how to take care of a snake. And then I left my bag there, and I fucking bolted back home. I made sure that snake was nowhere near my other pets, cause it was a huge snake. Huge. But yeah, I woke up from that dream, and I was just with the realization that I should never be a snake owner. I should never be a snake owner. No. Because I would just be so scared I'd be constantly squishing the snakes. So, definitely, snakes, not for me. Spiders, no. Rats, I'm fine with. I used to have a pet rat. My parents got my brother and I a pet rats when I was 7. He was 9 or 10. I was terrified at first, but I absolutely loved that rat. Just amazing. Sadly with that rat though, when I first got it, I fed it specific rat food. So there's big bags and it says rat food, hamster food, rabbit food. Well, eventually they stopped making and selling bags of rat food, instead just packed a bunch of rabbit, hamster, mouse food together. And so I couldn't find regular rat food that I would get my rat. And so eventually I had to transfer it over to the other food. But my rat would refuse to eat it. Nothing I would give it would be good. I tried giving it fresh vegetables. I tried picking out bits of the new mixture and try to compare it to the bits of her old mixture. No, the rat would not eat it. And eventually it got so bad the rat just stopped drinking as well. Because the food got into her water bowl, completely messed up the flavor. She refused to drink water as well. And I even had a little dripping spout for her as well. A bit of the flavor touched the little spout thingy. She refused to drink out of that as well. No matter how much I cleaned it, it still just somehow touched it. And so I woke up one morning in 3rd grade, my pet rat dead. Granted, I found out just recently that rats only live up to 3 years minimum or something. Actually, how long do rats live? How long do rats live? Let's see. I had an albino rat, but I'm gonna assume like it's the same as this. Oh. They typically live 2 to 4 years. Oh, so my rat just lived a long, healthy, happy life. Okay. Because my rat died after like 3 years. 3.5 years. So that's not bad. She lives somewhere in the middle. That's good. But I have heard stories of people who had rats for like 15 years. Yeah, because I've heard that my dad or like my dad's friend used to have rats that survived like 15 years and they're like huge rats. But yeah, I'm glad that my rat didn't die due to something on my part. I'm glad she died of old age. Or probably a combination of starvation and old age. Anyway, let's get back to food. I didn't starve my rats. I did everything I can. It was heartbreaking knowing that the rat was no longer eating. She probably was no longer eating, 1, because of new food, and 2, because she was getting old. But anyway, I love that rat.
Entire personality though. To make sure it was good for my dog Pluto, I had to try it for myself, and honestly it wasn't half bad. The final test is to see if he prefers it over his generic dog food, and let me tell you, he's been eating this stuff for the past week. He loves it. My dog is a true. As some of you may know, me and my roommates have a cookie jar where each week we take turns baking a new. Let's make a $1, $10, and $50 chicken and rice dish. The $1 version is well known by college students and bodybuilders.
Chef Tyler. Let's see what cheesy stuff he's cooking up. Ooh, 1 million subscriber special. Nice. Okay. Oh, he's gonna be
We just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, so I'm making a 10-layered grilled cheese sandwich. Since nobody wants to eat a grilled cheese sandwich with unmelted cheese on it, Gordon Ramsay, I'm looking at you. I had to build this sandwich from the
Oh yeah, by the way, next video I'll be reacting to Gordon Ramsay attempting to make a grilled cheese. So look forward to that.
Inside out. I basically was always cooking the outermost layer of the sandwich, and this actually worked surprisingly well. It came together super quickly, and I was really excited to cut into this one, but I've actually got a surprise up my sleeve. This is a 1 million subscriber special. You didn't think we were going to do this the boring way. I wrapped it and chilled it in the fridge so that the melted cheese would re-solidify and basically glue the pieces of bread together so that I could put it in a meat slicer and make these. And of course, I'm going to use 2 of these pieces to make another grilled cheese sandwich. I then toast it in a pan like usual, and let me tell you, this is one of the most...
His poor colon. This man is lactose intolerant.
Beautiful grilled cheese sandwiches I have ever seen. And the final surprise is a golden cheese pull. Thank you all for 1 million.
How the hell can he afford a meat slicer? Doesn't he not make money off his videos? Anyway.
Did you know that you can make ketchup out of bananas? Well, you can, and I bought some, so let's try it. Nothing goes better with ketchup than chicken nuggets, and everybody knows the best kind of chicken nuggets are dinosaur chicken nuggets, so that's what we're going to use today. I'm sure that some of you are about to have a panic attack because I haven't said the words grilled cheese yet, but don't worry, it's happening. I'm going to be making a dinosaur chicken nugget grilled cheese sandwich, and if you think that's something a 12-year-old would do...
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this the last video I recorded, but every weekend I make something like basically gourmet for my boyfriend and his roommates. So like for instance, the weekend that just passed, I made them cheese stuffed marinara bread twists, which took 4 hours, more than 4 hours to make. Absolute nightmare because I'm a morning person and I was making this and I finished up at midnight. But yeah. A week before that, I made them buffalo barbecue marinated burgers, and I also cooked up some bacon for my boyfriend's burgers as well, and toasted the buns in the beef and bacon fat. And then the week before that, I made them steamed veggie and pork dumplings. And what did I make them the week before that? I think the week before that was the holidays. So I made my boyfriend protein pancakes over the break while him and I were in Ottawa. Before that, I made 7+ layer taco dip and a few other things. But yeah, this weekend I will be making them homemade chicken nuggets. So I'm planning on making a batch of like 200 of them, giving my boyfriend a nice big fill-in 20 batch of them. Probably like toss them up in ketchup or something. And then I'm gonna freeze the extra for him so he can enjoy them over time as however he wants. Because I'm pretty sure store-bought packs only serve like 30 chicken nuggets per box. And they're not cheap either. Like, the name brand one of the Dino Nuggies is $15 for 30 nuggets. And non-name brand at my store, when it was on sale, it was $10. So I think I'm giving him a good deal with just making him a big batch of nuggets. I did offer to make them dino nuggets for him if he got me the mold for it, but he's probably not going to remember that. So he's going to be getting regular nuggets. Which I am looking forward to making them because I haven't made them before. And it sounds like fun. Because I've seen so many videos on people making chicken nuggets from scratch, so I am looking forward to making them myself. Yeah.
You're wrong, because an 11-year-old suggested this. So shout out to my cousin Cruz, thanks for the idea. I'm showing you the banana ketchup again because I feel like some of you have already forgotten about it, which is kind of embarrassing because we're only 30 seconds into this video.
Okay, I did forget about the banana ketchup, but that's because I was talking about chicken nuggets, okay?
But don't worry, the taste test is coming. I thought it would be cool to kind of chop this sandwich in half, but I totally missed the middle of it when I did it. The last time I saw something split in half like this was when my mom made me give half of my chocolate chip cookie to my younger brother. If there's any older siblings watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Now that the sandwich is complete, it's finally time to try the banana ketchup.
That is really good, actually.
Did you know you can make ketchup out of bananas? Well, you
Apparently, if you take a croissant and roll it flat and sear it in butter and honey, it becomes a crispy candied croissant.
Like
we've been challenged by Future Canoe to make a candied croissant grilled cheese. So let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. I'm going to be following Future Canoe's recipe with a few upgrades because I do have infinite grilled cheese wisdom. We're using croissants as the bread of this sandwich, so I'm rolling it flat with a water bottle and simultaneously crushing the croissant and the soles of any French people watching. Now we're going to sear the croissants in butter and honey and hopefully caramelize the honey onto the outside so they're nice and crispy. I also added some salt to the outside of these because every time I've made a sweet grilled cheese, I felt like salt helped a ton. I'm also upgrading my version with some mayonnaise and then adding raclette cheese in honor of Future Canoe's never-ending raclette. Once the cheese was fully melted, we officially had a candied croissant grilled cheese. But before you swipe away, let's check out the cheese pull and see how it tastes. Raclette is an amazing melting cheese, so as long as you put enough on there, you should get a good cheese pull. The taste was better than I expected, but
Raclette is also, I believe, lactose-free? Yeah, I believe so. So he's able to have raclette cheese even though he's lactose intolerant because raclette cheese is aged for so long that it's no longer has the fibers in it for that lactose intolerant people can't have.
Chef Tyler is a fraud. I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. For example, I accidentally lit this tofu on fire. I have no idea how that even happened, but it did look pretty cool and my house didn't burn down, so cool. I'm not that mad about it. My only official cooking experience is that my first job was at a Little Caesars. Well,
shut up. Tofu's really easy to burn as well. So if you guys saw the little clip with tofu burning in the bottom of the pan, it happens no matter what you try. Tofu burns very easily.
I also watched all of The Bear, so that
his experience is at a Little Caesars and he's making an entire he reached 1 million subscribers by making grilled cheeses. Oh, and he watched The Bear. I haven't watched The Bear. But see, my experience. Started volunteering in kitchens because you need volunteer hours in order to graduate. Started volunteering in kitchens when I was 14. Got my food handlers in November. So expired in November 2023, so the November that most recently passed. So yeah, got my food handlers, continued volunteering in various kitchens, then until I eventually got all my hours as well as a job. And at my job, I first started working at Metro in cut fruit. So it's basically like prep cook work. So you like prep fruits and vegetables, make salads, all that. And then I started working as a line cook at Darcy McGee's. Well, I started off as a dishwasher, moved up to line cook after like a month or so at Darcy McGee's, where I worked in every single station. I worked in, oh, I forget the word now, because in Montreal it's called garde manger. Oh, I don't remember. We call it cold side. That's right. It was cold side. And I also worked on fryers, and they moved me to grill by the time I was close to leaving. And so then I came to Montreal. I worked in a few different gourmet kitchens for like a total of a month and a half. And now I am working as a chef in a daycare, which I'm probably going to leave soon because my work's not paying me. Basically, to explain that, my boss, basically I have two bosses. They're both sisters. I'll name them as the nice sister and the mean sister for now. So the nice sister's on vacation until the 25th. She started vacation in early January, which means the mean sister is in charge. I'm actually going to switch this over to chatting. Which means the mean sister's in charge. Thing about the mean sister, she's a micromanager. So whenever I'm doing little things like chopping vegetables, she's telling me I'm chopping them wrong. Thing is, I chop the vegetables to boil and then blend them. So it doesn't matter how I chop them as long as they're a good size for the blender to be able to blend them up, and they're not so big. They're a good size for the blender to be able to blend them up, and they're not too big that they'll take forever to soften. Yeah, so that's a nightmare. She's done so many worse things as well, like cross-contamination, as well as just messing with things in the kitchen to the point where they don't work. We got a new fridge in recently. Like, I say recently, but it was like over a month ago. Basically, the old fridge just spontaneously stopped working for some reason. Like, I checked on it at some point in the middle of the day, and it was just at like 30 degrees. And I tried cleaning out the fan. I tried putting a bowl of ice water in front of the fan. Nothing. It's just blasting hot air. So we got the new fridge in. And the thing is, when we got the new fridge in, the mean sister was like, "Oh, it's looking like it's a little too hot." I mean, no, she said, "Oh, it's looking like it's a little too cold. I should probably turn it up." I'm just over there looking at it. It says 0.1 degrees Celsius. And the thing is, the safe zone for a fridge, like the temperature a fridge is supposed to be in, is 0 to 4 degrees, maximum 5 degrees, depending on who you talk to and where you work. This fridge was saying 0. I'm trying to remember if she said it was if she needed to turn it up because it was too hot, or too cold, or if she needed to turn it down because it was too cold or too hot. Because I remember it was a perfect, like a good temperature, already like close to the maximum, and she wanted to put it, yeah, it was at like 4.75 degrees. That's what it was at. And she was like, "Oh, it's looking like it's a little too cold. I should really turn it up a bit more." It's not even really in the safe range. And she wants to turn up the heat in the fridge more. And I'm just internally like, don't touch the new fucking fridge. It was installed less than an hour ago. Let it come to temp. Do not touch the fucking fridge. Of course I didn't say that out loud, but internally I was screaming. I'm just standing in the corner like, no, it's good. It's a good temp. Just give it time to like adjust and get to a new temp. It's a new fridge. It just got plugged in recently. Don't touch it. Just let it get to its ideal temperature. And she was like, Okay. Ugh. And then she stormed off. She always storms off. She always storms off, stomping her feet, slamming doors. You know, typical daycare director stuff. Yeah, just stomping off, huffing and puffing, slamming doors. So yeah, I'm looking for a new job now. Because the thing is, I love that job. I love working alone. I love making my own recipes. I love playing with the kids from time to time. I love it so much. I love how I finish so early in the day. I love how I get to just wake up early, go home early. I love that job. I absolutely love it. I love being in charge. I love all that stuff. She's the only downside. Thing is, I wouldn't mind at all if she was like just another employee that was just like being annoying and all that. But she's my boss. She controls my pay. And so, for context of what I mean by they're not paying me, is they decided to cut my hours to I don't get paid anymore after 2 o'clock. So can only get paid for a maximum of 7 hours. Thing is, she set that rule up on payday. So I didn't, and I found out about that rule on payday. So, and I only found out about that because I was missing an hour from my paycheck. So I went up and asked her, like, hey, I'm missing an hour from my paycheck. Can we please, like, look at this and, like, review it so I can get my money and, like, my proper pay? And she's like, you're not missing an hour? And I was like, yes, I am missing an hour. I track my times. I track my swipe in, swipe out by the minute. I'm not missing, I am not wrong. I know I'm missing an hour. And she's like very hesitant. She didn't want to show me the records or anything. And eventually she gave in and was like, oh yeah, see, 72, 72, 72. But in reality, I was actually looking at numbers. It said 650 to 230, 650, 246, 654 to like 3 o'clock, like all that extra time. And she was like, oh yeah, no, it's like 72, 72, 72. And I'm like, no, you're as bad as calculating as the damn computer. I'm missing an hour just from that week. Missing an hour. Probably more from this week as well. Because that thing's bad at computing. Which, I had paycheck issues with before, which I talked with the nice sister. She was like, oh yeah, I wonder why. Because, like, these numbers line up well, but for some reason the computer's not calculating them right. Don't worry. We'll get you your proper pay. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not the type of person to, like, hold off your well-earned money. And I was like, oh yeah, don't worry. I know you won't. In turn, I was like, your sister definitely would. I know you won't. It's probably just a weird old computer. And then now the nice sister's on vacation, so the mean sister's taking care of paychecks. And so the mean sister's like, oh yeah, I know why. It's because you're working when you're not supposed to. Yeah, no, you don't get paid before 7 o'clock. You don't get paid after 2 o'clock. And I was like, well, am I still at least going to get my pay from before this rule was set up, before I knew about this rule? And she's like, no. Of course not. You should have known this. Like, why would we pay you after 7 hours? Like, and I'm just here like, because I worked after 7 hours. I cleaned, I put away stuff, I did inventory, I did all that after 7 hours. I deserve to get paid after 7 hours. But instead of saying that, I was just like, And so, yeah, I'm not getting that. I have a collective 3 hours missing. I've looked over all my hours, all my paychecks. I've collective 3 hours missing to my name. And probably more once I get my paycheck on Thursday, because the payday's on Thursday. So I clocked in at 6:54, finished past 2 o'clock every single day up to Thursday. And the thing is, I asked her, what am I supposed to do when I still have things to do and it's 2 o'clock and I need to leave? And she was like, work faster. That's not how kitchens work. You can't just work faster. Things take time. Like when I go upstairs to do the dishes for after like the kids are finished their lunch and all that and they go for their nap time, it takes minimum 20 minutes, maximum 45 minutes for me to get through all those dishes. And that's with me going like pew 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 and like going really fast and only like scrubbing down when I see large bits of chunks of like sauce and such. So if she wants me to work faster, she's going to lose a lot of health and safety standards. She's going to lose a lot of quality. She's going to lose a lot of quality if she wants me to go faster. Because standard, I need at least 230 to be able to make sure everything's clean and put away properly and just the kitchen spotless by the time I leave. So on Friday, when I was leaving, right at 2 o'clock, I had 15 more things to do. I even wrote it down and messaged my boyfriend how much I need left to do. And today, when I was trying to take the time to take my break, she came in snapping at me that I should be taking this time cleaning instead of taking my break. And then she pointed out all the spots that needed to be cleaned that I was going to clean on Friday, but ran out of time. Thing is, the list of 15 things that I wanted to get done on Friday and cleaned up and all that would have only taken an extra 30 minutes. Just maximum 30 minutes. 15 minutes minimum. Yeah, so she snapped at me for not cleaning. Thing is, I don't have time to clean. I was trying to take my break because I knew I wouldn't get the time to take a break during the time frame she gave me. Because thing is, she gave me the time frame for a break of 11:30 to 12 o'clock, so a 15-minute break that I have to fit somewhere in that window. Thing is, during that time frame, I need to continue service, I need to prepare the children's afternoon snack, I need to do the dishes, and I need to put things away, like groceries and all that. I need to do all that. It takes 30 minutes to do all that, sometimes more depending on the snack. And I can't do it before service because I have to prepare the lunch. And sometimes the lunches take forever. And sometimes it's like really close to the service window by the time I'm finished making the lunch because I need to make sure I don't serve raw things, like raw meat. It's just really frustrating. But yeah, she was snapping at me for not cleaning. But the thing is, I wanted to clean on Friday, but I don't get paid after 2 o'clock. So I didn't have time to clean on Friday. So I got snapped at. And she even snapped at me today for some of the bowls being wet after I put them away. Thing is, I don't have the time to hand dry each individual bowl. And they also buy really cheap dish soap that doesn't speed dry, like quick dry. So if I do even though I leave them out to like air dry for an hour or more every single dish, some even get left out to dry for the entire shift basically. Yeah, no, they're still wet by the end of the shift because they get cheap soap. And then they also cut my hours. So I'm unable to hand dry each individual dish, but I can't leave them out because that is a hazard. So I have to try and like swing them around to get the water droplets off and put them away. So she complained about that as well. So guess what I did before I had to rush out at 2 o'clock today? I lined up each of the dishes that were still wet. I just lined them up on towels on the countertop. She can lecture me about how much of a hazard that is. It's her fault that I have to lower my quality standards in order to fit her time frame. Because she refuses to pay me. And thing is, this job used to be sustainable. It's sustainable if I'm able to work past 2 o'clock, so past 7 hours. But if I'm only able to work maximum 7 hours, I can no longer afford to work there because of all my expenses. So either I get a second job, but I can't do that because I'm in a relationship, I have podcasting, I have writing, I have all this stuff to focus on. So instead, I'm looking for a new job, which is really upsetting because I absolutely love those kids. The caretakers are really nice to me. It's just that one woman, that one bitch of a boss that makes me have to leave. That and the fact that they also constantly break the law. And they don't care about health and safety standards or kids' allergies, and they force me to serve food that the kids are allergic to, or food that is haram to the Muslim kids. And don't worry, a lot of times whenever I do get the chance, I try to, like when I first started working there, I was making two separate things. I was making a thing of soup that had beef in it, as well as a thing of soup that had chicken in it. We typically buy halal chicken, though I had noticed this time she bought non-halal chicken, because she's a bitch. So I made a thing of beef, thing of chicken soup, because we don't buy halal beef. And so I had them, those two spoons side to side. So this side was for the chicken, this side was for the beef. The spoons were corresponding with what side of the stove they were on. So she comes in, grabs the beef spoon, lifts up the lid for the chicken, mixes it up, and I'm in the corner like, mm. And she's like, what? And I'm like, that was the beef spoon. You just contaminated the soup for the kids who can't have beef or pasta. Because a lot of kids can't have pasta, so the chicken and rice soup was for them and for the kids who can't have the beef. And then we had beef and pasta for the kids who can have that. And she was like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not real allergies anyway. These children are between the ages of 3 months to 5 years. They do not have an immune system to be able to fight off that stuff. Hell, even then. So I'm just like, I'm lucky that it was such a small batch, so I was able to just toss it and start anew. But it's an hour and a half of my time just lost because of her carelessness and the fact that she doesn't believe in allergies. And another time, I was making fish sticks and cream of carrot soup for some kids. So, thing is, she doesn't know how to make cream of carrot soup. She thinks just 5 pounds of carrots or like 10 pounds of carrots would be enough to make a nice thick soup for over 60 kids. No, that's not how that works. If you want to make a nice thick soup for over 60 kids, you need 20 to 25 pounds of carrots, an entire import of carrots that we get. But she doesn't believe that. So whenever I make the carrots to her specific recipe, she always finds a way to complain about it. And then she adds flour to thicken it up, or forces me to make a bechamel, which she doesn't know how to make a bechamel. She tries to tell me how to make a bechamel. I know how to make a bechamel. The way she tells me how to make a bechamel, not right whatsoever. So she adds flour and all these other things that makes the soup makes the kids who are allergic to grains and dairy and all that stuff even more allergic to it. Because we have a kid who's allergic to dairy, but it's safe when it's cooked. So like cream of carrot soup, it's fine because the cream and milk and all that is cooked up. But the kid is heavily allergic to grains as well as another kid. So she adds flour to it, which means I have to make another completely different soup. Like an hour left before service, I have to make a completely new soup for those kids. Just need to take a moment to breathe. She just really frustrates me. So I have to make an entirely new soup for those kids. Or when she tries to add flour to it, I'm like, no, There are kids who are allergic to that. We do not have time to make a second soup. Do not add flour to it. There's nothing wrong with that soup. The kids love that soup the way it is. You make it too thick, they will not like the consistency. She doesn't listen. And so she adds flour to it, so I have to make a new soup. She adds flour to it without me looking, which means I risk serving the kids soup with flour in it. And the only thing is, I notice there's flour in it because I do a quick taste test every time she's in the kitchen, after every time she leaves the kitchen, because I know her, and I know she will fuck with my cooking. And then say I'm at fault for it. So yeah, we made cream of carrot soup. I'm actually making cream of carrot soup tomorrow. I'm hoping she stays the fuck out of my way so I can do my job properly. And we're also making fish sticks. I am heavily allergic to fish to the point where I can't breathe or touch it. And so she's complaining about the soup being too thin. So she tells me to cook up pasta and add it to it, making it allergic to the kids who can't have greens. And so I'm trying to cook up the pasta, but I also need to cook up and plate the fish sticks. So I finally have the pasta served, but I don't have time to put my mask and gloves on to serve the fish sticks. So I end up having a very bad allergic reaction. But in my head, I'm just like, it's worth it, because we also have another kid who's also heavily allergic to seafood. So I'm just in my head like, it's worth it. I'd rather be the one to have the allergic reaction than the 5-year-old boy. Because at least I can go to the store or go to the hospital quickly and get treated for it. He needs to be looked after. People might not believe that he's having an allergic reaction, all that stuff. So I'm in the bathroom after serving. And my entire neck is like red and all that with hives and acne, and like my skin's turning red and my skin's really itchy and all that, and I'm struggling to breathe. And so I'm going out. I leave the bathroom. They're like, my 2 bosses are like, one's in their office, the other one's in the foyer, basically setting up a Christmas tree because this was close to Christmas time. And I'm just like scratching my neck, struggling to breathe, basically choking as I'm explaining the situation to them. You know what the mean sister says to me? She calls me irresponsible for having an allergic reaction because I didn't have the time to set myself up and like put on gloves and a mask because I was fixing her problem and her specifics and all that extra stuff. And then later on, once I get home and I like pass out after taking some Benadryl and other allergy medications, the nice sister calls me and she's like, "Oh yeah, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you still good to come into work tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I might be out of it tomorrow, but I could probably come in." And she's like, "Oh good. Because it really didn't look like you were having an allergic reaction, like your face wasn't all puffed up or anything." And like, didn't look like I was having an allergic reaction. I was actively choking due to my airways closing. I honestly thought about just handing in my 2 weeks there and then, but I decided to wait and stay because I don't know. Figured there might be better chances in the future. They might still be suspicious of me because I'm new. They didn't want to trust me when having an allergic reaction. 3 months later, still a bitch to me. Nah. Still doesn't believe in allergies either. Like, you know how rice is basically a grain? Well, she doesn't see how a kid can be allergic to like the grains and pasta and wheat and all that, but the kid can perfectly eat rice. She does not have that comprehension of knowing the difference between rice and wheat. I love my job. I really do. My boss is the only downside. My boss. The only downside. Whenever I go into work, I'm always thinking like, okay, maybe today may finally be a good day. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm calm. I'm making the food I'm just imagining I'm running my own cooking show in my head. My boss shows up, everything's ruined. I'm getting lectured every 5 minutes about things that can wait until the end of service. Thing is, she's even refusing to buy the things that I need to do my job as well. So for instance, on the grocery list that I made for last week for this week, I had like paper towels, fish sticks, tomato paste, all that extra stuff. Yeah, no, she didn't buy tomato paste. She refused to buy paper towels, and she bought only a pack of 30 of fish sticks. It's only enough to serve 3 groups. Not even. So, she's cutting my hours. She's cutting the expenses on groceries and all that in order to run a kitchen. She's basically cutting my pay as well because she's not paying me for my rightful hours. And she also raised daycare prices while her sister was gone. All that. Her sister has been gone for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I love my job. I love cooking. I love it there. She's the only downside. Oh, and wanna know something funny? So, you guys know how I mentioned earlier that she was getting mad at me for taking my break instead of cleaning? Shortly before I go upstairs to clean the kids' dishes once they go down for their nap time, she leaves for a 2+ hour long break. And by the time I'm leaving, a phone has been ringing for 30 minutes straight. She's in charge of answering the phone. She's been on a break for over 2 hours. She's a fucking hypocrite. She has work to do. Meanwhile, she's taking a break. I had work to do, but I chose to take 15 minutes to sit down, talk to my boyfriend, look through jobs, and do all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I even do work-related things on my break. Hell, before the whole pay fiasco, I was willing to bring my own things in order to make food good for the kids. I was willing to go to a bulk barn, buy big batches of seasonings and brown sugar and oats and all that stuff in order to make amazing food for the kids. Hell, even during the holidays when we were closed on the day where I'm supposed to make milk orders, I called in on my personal number on the day that we're closed, and I wasn't working or anything of that. I called in just so I can make sure that we got our orders in. I did it on my own time. But I'm being treated like a nuisance because I chose to take a 15-minute break. Meanwhile, she's taking 2+ hours. Alright. But yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to find a new job soon because her attitude is negatively affecting my relationship as well. And the reason why I left my last job was because one of the reasons was it was negatively affecting my relationship. And I'm only in Montreal to be with my boyfriend to look after him while he studies and works and all that. That's the only reason I'm in Montreal. So if my work is negatively affecting my relationship, then hell yeah, I'm going to leave. My relationship is my first priority. And I tried looking for like other daycare works. There's a ton of jobs available for like educators and all that, or like caretakers. I only found one job that advertised for a cook position at a daycare. It's over a 2-hour train ride away, so that's a no-go for me. But yeah, it just sucks. I hope I can get a job as like a private chef or something. I'd love to be a private chef. But yeah, it just sucks. Because once again, I know I've said this several times already, I love my job. I love working alone, I love cooking, I love making my own recipes, I love looking after the kids. I love all that stuff. I love playing with the kids. The caretakers are really nice. I don't understand what a majority of them say because I don't speak fluent French, but they're really nice. It's just that my boss. It's just my one boss. It's a shame because I was really hopeful that I'd be able to stay there for the rest of the time I'm in Montreal. But I'm not getting paid after 2 o'clock, so it's not sustainable anymore. And my boss's attitude is negatively affecting my relationship. So I need to leave. I'm gonna miss those kids. But hopefully I get contacted for a job soon. I probably actually got a call for an interview today, but I was busy working, so I couldn't answer the phone. Let's watch another quick video before I end this. I'm very bad at keeping these videos at a decent hour. I need to switch it back to gameplay. Oh, I never finished this one.
That should count for something. P.S. I love you, Maddie Matheson. Even though I'm not a real chef, I created the Chef Tyler account while I was selling grilled cheese out of my dorm room because it was just kind of a catchy name. I had a feeling that if I had named the account a random dude with a panini press under his bed, it wouldn't have caught on quite the same. Well, actually, knowing you guys, maybe it would have. I never expected to be known by so many people as Chef Tyler, and if I thought that millions of people were going to be watching these videos one day, maybe I would have chosen a different name. I will say that not being a chef allows me to not follow any rules because I genuinely do not know what the rules are. I may not have earned the chef title, and mad respect to those of you who have, but
let's see. Thing is, I happen to earn the chef title, but at the same time, I've worked the same amount of years of experience that is needed to get a DEP at culinary school. So I have 4+ years experience, 2 of which are gourmet. So I have the years of experience that's needed if I were to go to culinary school to get a DEP. But I'm choosing not to because I don't need to. All I really need to do is get my MacPack, which is basically food handlers in Quebec. That's all I really need to do in order to get a chef job now. Because yeah, I've seen a bit more pushback on going to culinary school and all that. Because there's been a connection noticed from people who just go straight to work in kitchens compared to those who go to culinary school. And it's that, yes, people who go to culinary school have the techniques and they know those lessons and all that, but they're unable to work the harsh hours that is a kitchen job. But however, the people who go straight into cooking work are able to pick up on the same skills and techniques that those got in culinary school. And they're able to handle those hours. So I believe that's why there's a bit more of a pushback on people getting their DEPs. Because also if you get your DEP, then you also need to get paid higher because you went to university, paid thousands of dollars. But yeah.
I hope my page encourages you to be the chef of your own kitchen and not take cooking so seriously.
Yeah. God, I choked on a thing of tea. But yeah, I love these guys.
Chef Tyler is a fraud. I almost broke up with my girlfriend while filming this video. So what happened is she told me she was hungry, and like a good boyfriend, I offered to make her something to eat. I've been wanting to make a pork and chive dumpling grilled cheese sandwich for a while, so I offered to split that with her, and she said yes. There weren't that many dumplings left in the bag, so I figured I'd just cook the rest of them rather than leaving a few that wouldn't be enough for a meal later. I tossed all the dumplings in some soy sauce.
Honestly, something that I'd love to do is make food for this Chef Tyler and Chef Louis guy. That's something I'd love to do. Because this guy's signature is grilled cheese. This guy's signature is baking. What is my signature? Gourmet, I guess. I would say that's kind of a very broad range for a signature. But at the same time, baking's also a very broad range. Is baking a more broad range or is gourmet a more broad range? I'd say gourmet, because gourmet can go into cooking, baking, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, probably gourmet is more broad. Because, yeah, I love making things from scratch. I love working with my hands and all that, so, yeah.
And chili oil, and then I pulled aside the ones I needed for the grilled cheese sandwich and left the...
I just realized I'm talking about how broad gourmet and baking is, but I'm not talking about how secluded and pinned down and fine just grilled cheese is.
the extras in a bowl. And this is where the drama happens. I put the bowl with the 4 extra dumplings on the counter and told my girlfriend she could have 2 of them. I was very clear that I wanted 2 dumplings for myself, and then we would split the rest of the grilled cheese sandwich once it was done, but this was just a little snack to hold her over until the sandwich was done. No more than 1 minute after that, she tells me that she finished all of the dumplings. She said she was sorry and she just got in the zone and accidentally ate them all, but I don't believe that. I think this is going to go down as one of the worst betrayals of all time. Lucky for her, I'm a pretty forgiving guy, so I still shared half this sandwich with her. I almost broke up with my girlfriend while filming this is a chickle. It's a cheese-wrapped pickle that currently has the internet divided.
By the way, I'm never gonna make a chickle. Let's quickly show you guys the reel I recorded when I taught myself how to toss bread dough.
Guys, I taught myself how to spin pizza dough in under 2 minutes.
Pizza, right. God damn it. Why? Why you do this to me? Why? Anyway, this video is long enough. I'll quickly show you guys the menu again. Menu. So yeah, I made this. So basically I made this in January after the first week. So I made this in the second week of January, this in the third. And so I will be making these in the fourth week of January. So it will be fresh chicken breast that has been marinated, pounded down to a thick paste, and tossed in an egg mix, seasoned flour, and breadcrumbs, fried till crisp perfection. So yeah, that's what I'll be making this weekend. This was so fucking tiring. I hated that. It was a lot of fun, but I still hated it. And this was a lot of fun. Honestly, I just wanted my boyfriend to pick one of these 3. Because mac and cheese balls I can eat. I've been wanting to try fried mac and cheese balls. Homemade chicken nuggets I can't eat, but I can just grab myself a vegetarian pack of them. And cabbage rolls, I am unable to find vegetarian cabbage rolls in stores, at least very easily. So it would have been very nice to try and figure out how to, like, make myself vegetarian and meat cabbage rolls for myself, my boyfriend, and his roommates. And so yeah, next month I will be putting on Jamaican patties, because that's something he wants to try me making. As well as a signature dish that I'm going to try to make, which is basically kind of like Jamaican patties, but it is instead a buttered lobster inside of a lemony, zesty, flaky pastry. So it's basically like the Jamaican patty, except with lobster and more lemony. So yeah. What time is it? Oh, my boyfriend's gonna be here in like less than an hour. Alright, so I will be ending this live here. I hope you guys have all enjoyed. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your days. Have a great rest of your weeks. And know your worth. Don't work unpaid.